Well, hello, my beautiful Librans. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for mid-April right through to mid-May 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But before I even start, I'm scrying in the water at the same time as doing your reading, and I can see like a smattering of stars in space. Okay, so it looks like a constellation, but I cannot really decipher which one it is. There's nothing really highlighting which particular constellation it could be. So, I mean, symbolically, this could mean that you are aligned with something. The star energy tends to be that you're going to be in the spotlight, but I'm getting this sense of interconnectedness and networking. So it could be that you meet someone important over the next coming weeks or months that's going to be really instrumental to your career or your finances in some way. It could also indicate that someone you meet is connected to something or somebody that you need to know. So, I mean, it could also be like great ideas, inspiration, and something that you've been working hard to accomplish come in. But I'll leave that there because I can't really get anything else from that. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? What do they need to know regarding their career situation at this time? Their money, their finances, what do they need to be aware of? Okay, so your first card there is the bodybuilder. Then we have hot air balloon, and then we have the emerald. So this can indicate that you're in a position of strength right now, that you're building on whatever it is that you have accomplished so far. But I feel like, you know, there is some energy here of restoring a project, or for some of you, it could be that there's going to be something that was hard won, that you're really shaping it up to be something really valuable at this time, something that's going to flow easier to you once it's shaped or accomplished. You know, it could be passive income for some of you, but I feel like there's an idea you've had that perhaps you've either put on the back burner or it's been calling to you. This is something that is literally going to help you rise, okay? I'll get to the cards in a moment and I'll touch the energy a little bit more. So we'll see what's coming on in there. But I feel like you're in a period of really like working hard towards doing something, but it requires discipline. When you think about the nature of a bodybuilder, that's your first card. I mean, some of you could literally be a personal trainer, right? But others, this can be symbolic of you kind of like being diligent, disciplined, something that's strenuous, requires a lot of effort, a lot of consistency, a lot of talent, and focus is something that is going to be shaping up to be really positive. Now, the Three of Swords has popped out there for you, so that indicates you know it's not going to be easy, whatever this is, okay? But it is something that is going to be rewarding and highly successful. So we got 7 of Pentacles there as well. Some of you are looking at alternatives like second streams of income. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. Your finances will be increasing. Could be by a small amount, but we'll tap into that in a moment there. I feel there's a lot of future success here because it feels like you're in the planning stages or you are like working really hard and it feels arduous. It feels like, you know, you're very patient. You're just maintaining and sustaining something that perhaps you've built already. Got the King of Cups. Ooh, okay. So we got the Queen of Cups here and the King of Cups. So that again is highlighting this energy of like some sort of interconnectedness or an important person that you're about to meet. Okay, I just feel these are aspects of self as well. So it can be two people, an alliance there. We got the Temperance. So blending, a lot of blending energy going on. But I mean, if you're in an industry right now where you can get a promotion, I definitely see that a lot of you are going to get a promotion over the next 6 weeks. But there's a lot of challenge with this, okay? What I mean by that is there's more responsibility, and I feel like, you know, you're going to have to be working perhaps a little bit smarter, not harder. I feel you may have to compartmentalize your time in a more time efficient way, or be more disciplined with owning your time is what I'm seeing. Also, if you're getting like a new contract or a new position, I would say get everything in writing, because the Three of Swords can indicate there's a potential for a misunderstanding. Okay, something needs to be a little bit more clear cut is what I'm being given there. Now, I want to address it before I give all of the cards and touch the cards' energy. If you've come to this reading and you're currently out of work, okay, whether you lost a position or walked away from a position, made redundant, or had to leave a toxic situation here, I do see a lot of you there. You're going to enter into the working environment again. There's a role coming on in, something that you're absolutely going to love. There's more status to this role than you had before, and more responsibility as well. But you're going to put your whole heart and soul into this, and I feel like you're going to get this role. And it's a nice paced role. It's not like super busy, okay? But I feel like there's just a weight of work, okay? So it can indicate that, you know, you're going to have a lot on your plate there. But I would also say, you know, it is like a restoration energy. I'm not really sure what that means. So it could be that like it restores your spirits, or it actually, you know, you've got a King of Cups here. You're going from a Queen of Cups, so it can indicate some level of healing in the working environment. So if you were made redundant, for example, and you've come to this reading, or you had to walk away from a toxic environment, I feel like you had to heal a part of yourself to kind of really trust the working environment again, okay? Because we've got that Queen of Cups, which is self-care, okay? But it also indicates that you're valuing your skill set. So I definitely see here that if you are looking for a role, I mean, some of you could be going to like a job fair, or you could be going to some sort of intermediary energy, because we do have the Temperance card there. So it could be you get a role through a friend or through someone. I mean, it could be also that you're just going and increasing your status at this time. But there's definitely an opportunity here. You know, King energy tends to be managerial or some sort of position of authority. And it's something you're going to love, but it requires like all of you, okay? So I feel you're a leader, definitely. And even if you're currently in a role and you're putting your resume out there to find new opportunities, I see one coming on in. But I just feel like you are going to have to do a lot of multitasking, a lot of sorting through stuff, and kind of like you're going to deal with lots of like departments and people, and it just feels like you're constantly on the go in this role. I definitely see that you're up to the job, but you're going to take to it like a duck to water. It just feels like it's second nature to you. So a lot of you are migrating skills to this role, okay? Now, if you are currently interviewing, I would say the Seven of Cups, there are some options coming towards you. Knight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel there's two kind of like energies here. One is with that Knight of Wands, passion project, or something that potentially could be freelance, something that's short-lived. So it could be like a stepping stone. For some of you, this could literally be like a probation period, and then it really like locks in as a routine, because the Eight of Pentacles is a repetitive cycle. It's structure. It is something that is solid and sustainable. Okay, so I feel either you're going to be doing some sort of probation period with this before you start to rise. You're definitely going to rise in this position, and quite quickly, actually. So if you're looking for a new role, definitely see it happening for you. If you're currently in a job where you're hoping for promotion, I see, you know, you elevating. But again, that Eight of Pentacles indicates extra hard work. Okay, and the Knight of Wands energy can indicate that, you know, it's a new adventure, really, but it will set into a routine eventually. If you've just actually started a new role, it can feel a little bit clunky or a little bit hard at first, because you're getting to grips with people and knowing the systems and all of that. I definitely see that in the next coming weeks, you know, everything starts to settle and you feel a little bit more in command of this role. You're literally making it yours, okay? And I feel a lot of people appreciate you and see you as a real asset and a gem when it comes to the working environment. And yeah, let's get to your reading, because I'm just getting that straight off the bat. All this energy is hitting me before I even touch the cards, really. But your first card is the bodybuilder. Now, if you really think about the nature of a bodybuilder, this is doing something over and over and over again until things start to really shape up. So I feel this is all about your discipline. You're actually in a really strong position because of your knowledge. You're someone who, with that Seven of Pentacles, you are diligent, you are structured, you're serious, you're productive, and you know that something may be like a long process, okay? It says here, power, strength, forceful, determined, disciplined, vigor, domination, pushing forward, influencing, leveraging, having mastery there, resolving a situation, intense resistance, self-improvement, and exercise. Okay, so I mean, for some of you, it could literally be that you're contemplating working in the exercise industry, or you know, some sort of training, sporting kind of energy. I mean, for some of you, it could be that you're releasing pressure by getting into a more active train of pattern, shall we say, or thought there. But what I'm seeing here more than anything is that you're trained to do something. Okay, you are naturally gifted, but you also have acquired knowledge. And some of you right now, because that bodybuilder energy is there with that Eight of Pentacles, no matter what industry you're in, either you could be training someone up to do your role because you're going to go on a vacation, or it could be that you are leaving a position in order to move on to a new role. But a lot of you are investing in yourself with new knowledge regarding the industry that you're in. So upskilling, maybe even utilizing new knowledge or a new craft that will help you embrace the opportunities to develop and move forward in your career. I mean, you have the hot air balloon, which means, you know, your status is somehow going to rise. I definitely see finances rising. You're going from a Seven of Pentacles to an Eight of Pentacles. Could be a small increase there. For some of you, this could be like a, you know, a raise. For some of you, because of your strength and because of your talents, there could also be a promotion. As I mentioned, it is only a small kind of raise when it comes to this promotion, and you may be thinking that actually it's more valuable. You know, it should be paid more. But I do see that you will staircase in the future and get more connected to this role, okay? But I feel it requires that sense of letting things settle and working your way up. So, you know, even if you're in a career where you're an entrepreneur, you are creative, because I do see a lot of you with this Temperance energy, although you're really busy, I see a lot of you thinking about sideline hustles, you know, second streams of income or passive income going on there, connecting to something that's really creative. Because I really feel for some of you, not all of you, but I'm really getting this energy. Like, if you think about hitting the gym, right, and it's constant, you are being super, super disciplined, and there's a strenuous effort being made here to shape something in your career. I feel it's like your career path or your sense of purpose. And you have an energy card, the Knight of Wands, in the resistance position at first, which means a lot of you are exhausted. You're at capacity. You may feel there's no support, or you may feel like you're doing something by yourself and it's just a challenge. You may also feel that you're unappreciated or somehow overlooked. And that Queen of Cups energy can indicate that you know your worth, but you may feel the opportunities are really not available at this moment in time. So I do see some sort of move happening in your career or your industry, or there's something here that you're contemplating, and you know that when you go to this, it's a stepping stone. But I see a lot of you trying to also launch something or brainstorm ideas of doing something that frees up your time. Okay, so it could be ideas about being more nomadic in your industry, or doing something where you can work on your own time. Because if you think about like a bodybuilder or a trainer or someone who kind of like connects to the exercise industry, you can go one of two ways. You can join like maybe a gym, for example, and have a set class that you take, or perhaps you are a personal trainer and you train people on your own time. Some of you are thinking about being your own boss and working on your own time. And I'm only kind of like highlighting the energy that is symbolic from this card, and you can apply it to your own industry. So whatever it is that you do, some of you may be thinking about becoming independent at it, being a consultant or, helping other people, guiding other people in some way. But a lot of you, this is an intense period in your working environment right now. You're making some, really valid decisions here. I feel like you're on course for a lot of success, and it's hard, okay? No one just rocks up into, like a gym, and I'm only mentioning the gym because that is your first card energy. No one rocks up and goes, okay, this is going to be a breeze. I'm going to really like shape up my body to be the best it can be, and it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I mean, you've got the Three of Swords there, so I feel like you're working super hard. I'm actually hearing a song as well right now. Oof, yeah, thanks so much. I'm so grateful. I'm really feeling this song for you. It's a very famous song, Broken Down and Tired, living on a merry-go-round, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. Okay, so these are different parts of this song. So that is not, the song running smoothly together. I'm just being given snippets of that song. Very famous. I think it's by Fearless Soul, actually, which is a great kind of name there as well. So I feel this is you. This is you being a fearless soul, doing something that you know is challenging, but you're going to rise up. Literally, you're not afraid of the hard work, and something is shaping up to be really valuable for you. So whether you want to be more independent, even if you're in the working environment and you work in a company, it can be that, you want more independence. You may feel like someone is causing issue, or, someone is not valuing your work. You may feel as well that there's a lack of focus with other people and you're always having to step up. I feel for some of you as well, there could be someone who's micromanaging or, lends a chaotic feel to the energy where they are like constantly excessive or impulsive. And if someone asks you to do something, whether it's a client and you work for yourself or whether you work for a company, I would say in the next 6 weeks, make sure you get it in writing, because this person, they are changeable. I feel there's an energy here of someone having like a misunderstanding, but then trying to blame you that you misunderstood. But actually, I feel like you got it right and they just changed their mind, or they had like a different image in their mind of what they wanted and they did not communicate it to you clearly or concisely. Okay, so just be a little bit mindful about that. Okay, if you're someone who works on a commission base, or you are someone who is actually commissioned by a person to create some sort of artistic endeavor, again, get it in writing. Have a meeting, maybe like if you're having a video call, for example, record it or something like that, just to make sure, because this person, they're liable to be very changeable in the next 6 weeks. And could give you a bit of a headache there because we got that Three of Swords. Now, no matter what you do, Queen of Cups energy is really about loving what you do, following your sense of purpose, and really like adding value to your industry. This is the dream of what you want to achieve. When you think about the Queen of Cups, she has a samovar, which is basically, a vessel with water in it, and that is the dream. Whenever you have a vessel of water, it allows you to tap into images of what you see for the future, because water is energy, and that's why I use a scrying vessel there as well. So, the Queen of Cups is about the vision. It is about you like giving all of yourself to your industry and having a vision of the future. And I feel some of you may be contemplating like a new venture, because the Knight of Wands is in the resistance position at first. So you could be craving something new, or even craving, a different aspect, or it's like you want to rise up, of course. You may feel that right now there's no opportunities for you to, but I do see a new role or opportunity for you to make a major leap forward in your career is opening up for you. And it is a very valuable move for you there as well. The Queen of Cups, it basically asks you, are you enjoying what you do? Do you feel comfortable where you're at? Okay. Also, I would say this is about you looking at what you are worthy of. Valuing your skill set, knowing that you are a gift and you have a lot to offer your industry. So, it can indicate that some of you, whilst money is important, the most important thing to you is this sense of purpose, adding value to your industry at this time. And the money will be reflected. I mean, looking at the energy, the Eight of Pentacles is the highest card that you've got in terms of pentacles in this reading. And this can indicate that, you work hard for your money. And it can indicate as well that you will be able to save a little bit more because you're increasing. Okay, but the Seven of Pentacles indicates some of you are feeling a little bit fed up with something, and you are trying to find an alternative way or find more balance in your working environment. I mean, that song, it indicates a lot of you are just like exhausted or just feeling frustrated with the way things are right now. You may feel it's really hard to maneuver in your industry. You may feel that your industry is changing in some way and you're having to adapt, okay? Because this is finding the alternative. So, I mean, that song literally said living on a merry-go-round. Now, I want you to be aware, of course, structure works really well because whenever you are motivated to do something, and that's what your Knight of Wands there with the Queen of Cups is like, you've got the vision, you are going to be motivated to do something. And when you're motivated and passionate about something, because it will go into the upright there as we move through the time period I'm reading for, then it doesn't feel like a chore. You're unstoppable in your endeavors, okay? But, you know, it can indicate that if you feel like you're doing the same old thing, just a different day, because the Eight of Pentacles is a work habit or a routine, repetitive cycle, you're crafting something, you're dedicating to something there, and it can indicate that there is an energy here where sometimes it gets a little bit dull or boring, okay? You get a little bit frustrated. And people don't realize that when you do something time and time again, you become a pro at it. You become better than everybody else, okay? So with that Seven of Pentacles and going to the Eight of Pentacles, some of you may feel like, there is a skill set that you require or that you want to invest in at this time that will really set you apart from other people in a competitive market or industry, whatever it is that you're in. I mean, even if you're like an artist, you're honing your craft, you are investing in learning new techniques, or you may be investing in networking opportunities with galleries, or learning things online of how to promote your work. So please apply it to your industry. It can be any industry. This is about you allowing yourself to be seen, but this is you thinking of your financial future, okay? It's like things are ticking over okay right now, okay? But you may feel you want to reinvest in yourself, and whether that's a vacation because you're exhausted. I mean, listen out for that song, because when you hear that song, I feel there is some sort of opportunity here for you to make a little bit more money. And this could be a new venture that you're creating yourself, but for some of you, it could be like a big move in your industry where you go up the ladder, you move a status kind of move. I just feel there's an energy of a new title, but also a small increase in finances that go with it. Now, of course, the Seven of Pentacles is you opening up to a new strategy. So it could be that some of you are like really content where you're at. You know it's hard work, but at the same time, you just want to have something a little bit more exciting. So you may, challenge yourself or approach your work in a different way. But what I'm getting here with this Seven of Pentacles, because Seven of Pentacles can be an energy of like opening up to something new or trying a path that hasn't been really tried and tested yet, being a little bit maverick, I feel some of you are manifesting new opportunities, and these could be opportunities that run alongside what you already do. So it could be that you're taking like a part-time position alongside a role that you have. Some of you may be thinking about being more freelance in your working environment. But because we have the Knight of Wands partnered with the Eight of Pentacles, if you're a freelancer already, some of you may contemplate taking a more established role where you know where your finances are coming from. Okay, so it could be that, you want to feel a little bit more secure and know where your paycheck is coming from. I feel like you may land a position that's a little bit more long term. Okay, it doesn't mean that, you're locked into something for years. It can be that, if your freelance roles tend to be project to project, maybe you work 6 weeks on a project, and then 3 weeks, it could be that something comes in for 6 months and you're like, oh, I like this. It still gives you flexibility, because whatever I'm seeing here for a lot of you, it's like, can I be flexible in my working environment? Some of you, this flexibility could manifest in terms of changing your schedule, for example. I mean, the Seven of Pentacles often means you're dissatisfied with something, so you're looking at how you can develop it. You're not afraid to admit something that's not working, or it should be moving a little bit faster. You could pay attention to something that you want to get a little nudge to, or you want to like nourish it in a more kind of like precise way where you want to give it a little bit more attention, for example. But this can be you checking the exchange of who you are, what you have to offer, and know that you're in a position where, you give your all to your work. And some people coast. You know, some people, they're not you. So I just want you to be aware that you're actually in a unique position to value your skill set, be confident, and look at the exchange. And if you're feeling that, you know, you've committed to something and it's not yielding results, or you feel that perhaps things haven't panned out the way you'd hope for in this position, I feel like you're opening yourself up to alternative opportunities and expanding your reach. You know, even if you're an entrepreneur, or, you know, you're a creative, you know, you do your own independent business, it can be that you're extending your client base or your subscriber base. Or if you're an influencer, for example, it could be that you are basically finding alternative ways to build your community, because that is a building card. And with the Seven of Pentacles, this is you building on something that you already have in motion. So it could be you trying new ideas, or kind of like trying new approaches in order to dominate the market or dominate your profession, so that you are someone who is a real force to be reckoned with. And I definitely see that happening for you. Again, always apply it to your industry or your situation, because so many professions out there, I'm just tapping into the energy of this driven person who is going, how can I build more? Okay. We've got the hot air balloon. Initially, it's in the resistance position. Really interesting that that song came up, because anything that's in the resistance position, it will go into the upright. And that song, it literally said, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. And there are hot air balloons here where they're rising, and it looks like they're rising like the day. The dawn is there. So I definitely see that there's an opportunity for you to increase your reach or expand on opportunity and elevate here. And I feel, because it's connected to the Knight of Wands, which is all about fire and passion, it is your driven energy that is going to help you rise. You're self-made. I definitely see there's some contacts and networking opportunities coming in that will help you move up the ladder or help you move in your industry to expand your reach. But ultimately, you did this by yourself because of your talent, because of your energy. And even though you're feeling exhausted, I feel like you get this opportunity, which is going to come in here. Something's being offered to you, because the Queen of Cups is holding, you know, that samovar, and it is like, I value myself, and this is an offer. Let me really contemplate it to see if it matches the exchange of what I commit to and what I can offer. So there has to be value in it. So as you can see here, it says, don't resist. Interesting, because we've got resistance there as well. So it could be that there is a path that you've been contemplating or planning right now, but there's been a little bit of resistance. You may have felt like you don't have all the information or the knowledge. Some of you are investing in like new knowledge, but actually I feel like you're really talented. Sometimes we can sit in stagnancy thinking that we don't have all the facts, or that we don't, you know, have all the tools or resources to move forward, when actually all we need is a little nudge of confidence from our higher self, but also, you know, from the universe to say, you got this, go for it. And I really feel here the time is now for you. There's something you've been sitting on that perhaps you have been resisting or thinking, I'll get round to it, but you've been so busy. I feel the next 6 weeks you're going to put your focus and attention on it, and you're going to see actually there is a path of possibility that will leave you very, very fulfilled, okay? So it says here, balance, uplifting, freedom, going with the flow, rising above, don't resist, new perspective, untouchable. Like that, untouchable, because you have that Eight of Pentacles. Now, if you look up the meanings of the cards, the Eight of Pentacles means that you have mastered a craft. It means that you are someone who, you know, is all about enjoying your employment, of course, no matter what you do, but it's in the resistance position at first. So there can be things that you don't enjoy. So you may be finding a way to either outsource those things, or it could be delegating those things. For some of you, it could also be you finding new tools or new ways of approaching these things so that you can reignite that spark or really start to enjoy things from a different perspective. You know, for example, if you're someone who hates filing, right? It can be that you find a new app or a new like online platform that can help you really kind of like organize all your filing systems, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier. And maybe because it's like a new gadget, it's a little bit more fun than the usual filing system. So I'm just giving you an idea, because I get this energy here from these cards that you're going to discover a more fun way to approach whatever it is that you do, so that it kind of takes that tedium out of it, okay? Okay. Now it also says divine gravity. So you're elevating, okay? And nothing is going to stop you from rising. But some of you may have felt that you've been in a position for a while where there's been no movement, okay? And that's why this energy is going to change. There's some opportunity or some new project or new venture or even new inspiration that comes in to drive you forward with this Knight of Wands there. Now, if you've just come to this reading and you're just thinking, okay, I'm just thinking about my wealth, I'm just thinking about money, I'm not thinking about my career, I can see here with the Seven of Pentacles that some of you may be looking at alternative ways to invest your finances, maybe shuffle money around into different financial institutions to build with interest, okay? So it could be that you find something that is short term that gives a higher yield than any other like banking institution, for example, because the Knight of Wands is a short-term solution to a situation. It's like you find something, it's locked on, it's your goal, you go, yep, that will do for the temporary time, and now I'm going to invest elsewhere. So for some of you, you could be finding like a 1-year high yield investment account, for example. I don't know anything about finances, but that's something that's coming through right now. For some of you, because you do have the emerald there, it could be that you're investing in precious metals, for example, or something of value that will hold its worth and increase. I'm being given this energy of an asset rather than a liability. Again, I don't really know what that means. I'm sure I understand what the words mean. So it can mean, you know, you're thinking about investing in things that hold value or increase in value. Okay, so for example, if you buy a certain car, okay, normally a really expensive car like Ferraris and things like that, again, I don't really know anything about cars, you know, they, I guess, hold their wealth to a certain degree. But if you buy like a standard car that's still really great, it will devalue. So that can be considered a liability. Anything that doesn't hold its value or increase in wealth or devalues, for example, you know, it's a liability. So I feel, you know, right now you're looking at investing in things that increase finances or hold wealth, especially when we're living in a time period where the economy is fluctuating. I did mention this last year, that this year is going to be a pretty big roller coaster when it comes to dips in the financial market. And right now, all of the things that are going on are affecting to some degree in different countries, pensions, 401ks. So it could be that some of you are feeling, you know, that, I mean, sometimes we can view the economy like it's full of hot air, okay? There's just a lot of like transient energy going on, and it's like, okay, when there's a dip in the market and it all goes crashing down, like where does the finances go? It just doesn't disappear, right? It goes somewhere, but it doesn't go to us, right? So I feel a lot of you could be like keeping your eye on things like that right now. I do see that there is a balance coming for this, okay? So if you're worried about 401ks and the fluctuation nature of what's going on economically, I would say that with the Temperance card, and this has come out in all of the readings so far, okay, that there is going to be a reckless energy where things go up and down, but the Temperance card means it will plateau, it will balance out. There needs to be patience to see how this is going to work out, okay? So, yeah, again, this is the timeline energy that I'm tapping into for the next coming weeks. I cannot see beyond that. What I can see here is a leveling out of things over time. So, again, you know, that's something that's coming through. So, with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from that energy because there's a real burst. So, perhaps people are like, I just want to know about my money. Maybe there's like this like major kind of like panic energy coming through there. But you know, I feel with the Eight of Pentacles there, some of you may be looking at spending and, you know, just being more strict with your budget. I feel a lot of you, it's more strict with your savings, actually, because it's in the resistance position. So it can be that you're repairing your wealth by looking at what you spend at. I actually see for your future, my beautiful Librans, you're increasing, you're expanding. So although money is an energy, I do see that, you know, there is a rise here. And even that song is like, you're rising. Okay, so even if you're exhausted, working hard towards something, I see over time you're building in wealth. I mean, you've got the emerald there, which means you could be healing money blocks right now. It means that you could be removing them. It also indicates that you are going to build something of value that holds its value and wealth, and it's sustainable. Okay, so Yeah, we've got restoration there as well. So some of you could literally be restoring a project or returning to a project or an idea that actually is going to amplify your wealth, okay? And a lot of you with that hot air balloon and that fiery, passionate Knight of Wands, it's creative. So, you know, if you are an artist, a singer, a performer, or a writer, it can be that, you know, you are creatively transforming your finances based on your talent. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, I feel the Knight of Wands is connected to your talent, and that is the thing that is going to help you rise. But some of you may want to add another string to your bow, okay, because that Eight of Pentacles indicates, yes, you're working hard for your finances, you're maintaining and sustaining, but it can indicate that you want to reinvest in some sort of like new craft or skill or opportunity to develop your knowledge and learn more about what you are doing right now. So I just feel like you're building on accomplishment. That's what I'm seeing there, okay? Now, I want you to be aware as well. It says flow, continuous ascension, view, elevate, and feeling good. Okay, so where you may have been feeling exhausted, your vitality returns with that Knight of Wands. This is a card which means you're unstoppable. It means that you are trusting in your vision, you're acting accordingly, and you value what you have to offer. And this is where, you know, you manifest the best opportunities. A lot of you may also be contemplating being more nomadic in your industry. So if you are someone who is independent, work for yourself, some of you may be thinking about moving, relocating, you may migrate your business overseas. You know, as you elevate and expand on your business, it gives you more opportunities. I just heard more buying power. Okay, that just came through there. So some of you, you could be in real estate, or perhaps you are buying something and selling something. Maybe that's the nature of your business. It gives you more buying power. I mean, that tends to mean that you are in a more powerful position to command your industry to offer you the best deals, for example. So that's come through there. But Eight of Pentacles, this is about you kind of like working super hard, okay? The traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Eight of Pentacles, the figure is bent over and chipping away. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I'm seeing right now, it's almost like I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles from the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. I'm seeing it in the water, and I'm seeing it animated. So I'm seeing the figure like hammering something and then looking back at the home. So some of you could be trying to forge a way towards purchasing real estate, or perhaps buying your own property if you haven't already. For some of you, this is like reinvesting in the home, so you could be doing some DIY or something like that. But what I'm seeing, it's really interesting. Normally on the Eight of Pentacles, the figure is shaping up a pentacle, right? But what I can see is they're forging a horseshoe. So I'm just seeing this like red hot horseshoe, and horseshoes tend to be all about luck. So I feel like, you know, whatever it is that you do, you're going to be like hot property. I feel like there's a lot of luck coming your way, but you worked hard for it. So there's an opportunity here, which I just heard harmonizes success. So yeah, that's something that's coming through there. So what else am I getting with that? Yeah, Eight of Pentacles can mean a new opportunity for some work or building on, you know, whatever it is that you've already got in motion. You're productive, you're organized, but also I'm seeing this energy of success from past efforts. Okay, so this could be something that you had as a thought and now you're going to run with it. Or it could be something that you invested in ages ago and now it's starting to yield. There's definitely a payoff here for your hard work, okay? So that's something that's coming through there. Look out for horseshoes. Of course, the symbol is lucky, but you're going to see a lot of them as an omen for you over the next coming weeks. You could literally find one on the floor. I mean, but I feel it's a symbol. I mean, you normally find a horseshoe over the door of a house, right? So it could be a new home, or there could be some value to that symbol as an omen for you about a place that you're going for a new job opportunity. So look out, maybe they've got a horseshoe there. I feel like your next move in your career is a lucky one, but you forged away. You did this. You created your luck and you're ready for the opportunity. Now we do have the emeralds, okay? Now emeralds are a beautiful energy. So because we have the Three of Swords there, these two cards can indicate you're healing your money situation, or you're healing the working environment in some way, or you're working in a more peaceful endeavor. I mean, I will pull a card on the Three of Swords because it is a challenge card. It can indicate that you have a lot on your mind, potential for some migraines at the end of May there, I would say. But it says here reflection, healing, fertility. So fertility is all about growth, growing money, growing opportunities. Some of you are like networking or promoting your work there, allowing yourself to be seen. Rare. Remember, you are rare. You do things that other people don't do. You know, you are unique, and that is your superpower. There's literally no one else out there like you. Like, everybody could have the same role or status, but no one's going to do it in the way you do it. No one's going to approach things the way you do it. So this is a call for you to specifically look at what's unique about you and what you have to offer the industry that other people don't have, okay? So this is about you passionate and driven and, you know, having a vision that is unique to you and making it happen. And it says free flowing, loving what you do, mature, heart chakra, you know, peace in your soul. So I definitely see here that, you know, there's an opportunity that adds value to your next move in your industry, and it's number one. So this can be that you are in a number one position, or you're number one for the job, or you're prioritizing your own needs at this time. I'm just going to pull a card on that Three of Swords, because suddenly when I picked up that Three of Swords, it's not relevant to this reading really, but I saw someone really devastated that they lost a really important piece of jewelry. Okay. Patience in time. You know, if you've like mislaid this, you will find it again. You will reconnect to a piece of jewelry that you are devastated about losing. Okay. That's something that's coming through. I'm not getting any like negative energy from this. So we got the Death card. So the Death card is change. I'm pulling a card on the Three of Swords, okay, to clarify it. So the Death card can indicate that some of you have been going through a very challenging time. Your industry is changing. You know, there's lots of rules and regulations, policies changing, moves, maybe merges going on. The industry is trying to deal with a lot of redundancies and closures on things as well, because economically things have been really kind of scuppered by 2020. Let's face it, okay? So it can be that there is a recovery period going on and it's trying to navigate its way. So you may be feeling the energy of that in your industry, and you may be a little bit worried. You know, Three of Swords can be anxiety. It can be that things are just hard right now. There's excess work. People are nervous. They're worried about their industry. But I feel with these changes, we got the Eight of Swords there. This can indicate that you're feeling a little bit stuck, but it's like getting clear on what's working, what's not. Streamlining your time, be more efficient. Because the hot air balloon is there, okay, and it's in the resistance position, some of you may feel a little bit stagnant in your industry, and you may feel completely like you're in the same place, but there is an opportunity coming in that you cannot see right now that is going to propel you forward or show you that you're on the right path. And some of you, I'm sending you a huge hug out there if you're dealing with this. Some of you may have had a bereavement and you're grieving, and you're just trying to launch yourself into work and like trying to like get on by, and it just feels so hard that you're having to move forward, and emotionally, you know, you're feeling bereft, maybe even on autopilot sometimes. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there. You know, sometimes we try to run away from the emotion by throwing ourselves into work, and I totally understand that. But the body is going to be a supercomputer, and it's going to release pressure sometimes, and sometimes it's going to hit you from nowhere, and sometimes you're going to feel fine, and then the next minute, not at all. So honor that about your body. It is a process that's coming there. So with a lot of love and respect, I actually feel like whoever you're grieving is actually guiding you and kind of like giving you this sense of calm, that there is change afoot, but they're protecting you and directing you, and they're kind of nudging you to do something that, you know, creatively you're really passionate about. It's like, life's too short. Do what you love. Get out there, you know, be unstoppable, because you're someone who's super gifted and talented. I feel like you're going to see lots of opportunities for you to be able to do that, and lots of signs coming in to highlight the way that is connected to you personally, because it's going to be different for everybody. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from this energy. I'm seeing lots of feathers. I'm seeing a horseshoe, and I'm seeing a little dice. Now, dices you know, they tend to be about risk. Okay, so it can be that you're wondering if you should take more risks in your industry, but I would say calculated risks, get all the facts. I mean, you have a lot of knowledge here, but it can be with the Temperance card that some of you may launch something that is different on the side, like a side hustle, and it becomes your main squeeze. It's something that you are really talented at. So it's something that you're also enthusiastic about as well. So I definitely see like a passion project becoming something that sets you apart from other people and brings in a lot more money than you ever expect. Okay, so that's something. It may be hard at first, is what I'm being given, because I'm hearing nobody said it was easy, but it's going to work. Okay, so that's something. Just want to pull one more card on that, because the Eight of Swords is like a position where, you know, you may feel that there's no options right now and you can't see that you're about to turn a corner. Okay, I feel that you will get out of this slump, as it were. Queen of Wands, attracting more opportunities. You're someone who's magnetic. You're a passionate person. This is about rediscovering your spark for your career, your industry. You're someone who also is capable of really strong creative alliances. This is a card that indicates some of you are going to get people reaching out to work with you, or, you know, maybe even social media platforms if you're partnering up with something, because the Temperance card can be a blending of energies. So if you've thought about something that you're really knowledgeable about and you thought, you know what, I could create a social media platform and get my message out there. This could be a partnership between you and something online. And it could be that you're creatively forging away with all the knowledge that you have. And it could be something that brings in passive income, or it's something that perhaps ticks over in the background for some of you. It could be a course of learning. Could be that you're training people because you have the bodybuilder energy there with that Eight of Pentacles. You may feel right now that you need to learn more about your craft, but actually you're naturally gifted, and acquired knowledge is just a bonus. It's a cherry on top. So I definitely see here with this Queen of Wands energy that you are expressing yourself in some way, and you are creating something that you're inspired about, and it's going to magnetize, because this is a card of getting attention. It's a card of inspiration, and it's a card of magnetizing powerful opportunities that you're attracting through your talent and your diligence and your, you know, drive, your desires. Okay, so I say this Three of Swords, sometimes when we're in the midst of planning something, or we are, you know, trying to make a move in our career, it feels like you're stuck. It feels like you're in the middle of it, so you cannot see your progress. But actually, you're making progress, and you're going to see some major leap or bound over the next coming weeks that highlights that you're on course. Okay. Now, finally, we've got the King of Cups. So this is putting your whole heart and soul into something, but definitely promotion vibes here. For some of you, because there's two people in your reading, because right now I'm reading aspects of self, but if I really take into account, there's two people, a king and a queen of cups. For some of you, this could be a business partnership or an alliance. Doesn't have to be with a person, as I mentioned. It could be with a company, could be with a brand deal, could be with a gallery if you're an artist, could be with a top manager if you're a singer, or you know, could be a promoter for some of you, or if you're an actor, it could be like an agent. For some of you, it could be with a company that you've always wanted to work with, or maybe be affiliated with in some way. For some of you, it may be affiliations. You know, it could be that you are getting connected. You could be applying for something, getting a permit on something, and kind of like being given the thumbs up that now you are someone who is affiliated with a group and you can go off and do your own thing. So for some of you, that could literally be that you're selling products, for example, and you're getting some sort of commission, because we have that Knight of Wands energy. Something that's coming in quickly is that if some of you are freelance and you haven't been paid, okay, I feel like you're going to get an email from this person or some sort of correspondence from this place that you are owed money from. The first email is all bluster, okay? This is not going to be paid when they say it's going to be paid. I hate to give you that message, but I have to give you that message. So when they come in and say, oh yeah, we're going to pay you at like the end of the month, okay, I would send them back like a message that says, great, I just want to remind you that legally you have like a 28-day period to pay an invoice or something like that. I would say you need to just underline the legality of not paying for the service that you provided, because this person is going to try and say, oh, you got forgotten off the pay run or something like that, because I'm being given this energy of hot air from a person, okay? And you may feel really disappointed and you don't want to break the relationship with this person. But I mean, if anyone is like reneging on payment, of course, perhaps this is a person in the future you may want to be a bit cautious about working with again. This is mainly if you're freelance, that's what's coming through. You will get that money, but you may have to wait. But I would just say, if you send them a little something, something, rather than just saying, okay, great. You know, if they say, yeah, we're going to pay you at the end of the month, and just go, oh, okay, great, no problem. If you kind of like pass it off as like, oh, they just forgot. They didn't. I want you to be aware of that. I feel like they're doing, it's like they're trying to filter out payments because it's like a knock-on effect. I feel like they may be not doing so well themselves, which is really sad. It's awful that that's happening, but I'm reading for you, and there is this energy here of them kind of like trying to take their time so that they can focus the money elsewhere. Okay, so just watch out for that. If you send them that email or something like that, be diplomatic about it. Just say, okay, great, because, you know, I gave you the invoice on this date and I don't want you to go over the 28-day period or whatever it is. I'm not sure legally what it is. And just underline that legally, you know your rights. So that will give them something to think about when pretending to forget about paying you. Okay, so that's something that's coming through there. Okay, I like to believe in the best in people, but I can see with this person in the resistance position, I feel like they will, it's like, I do see that they have a lack of focus, but I also see that they're ambitious and they may pool the resources elsewhere to make another business work or an alternative thing work or an alternative alliance work. And it's like they overlook you. Okay, so I don't want you to go through that. So anyway, you will get the finances, okay? And I feel like it will kind of also keep the relationship repaired so that you don't damage a working alliance, because I feel like you remain friends after this, or, you know, professional alliances. Let's put it that way. Moving on from that, the King of Cups is basically you being very knowledgeable, a great leader. So it could be that you're literally just taking charge of your working environment, not procrastinating. You know, some of you could literally be healing as well. If you've been unwell recently, and especially if you work for yourself, it can be really hard because, you know, when you are the one who has to show up for yourself every day, it's really hard. You just can't take time off unwell, but you must honor your body's needs, because as soon as you get a rest, I feel like you're going to be back to best and heal a lot quicker. So I do see that coming in. Some of you may also have insurance regarding that to make sure that you are still paid or covered in some way. Again, I don't know much about that, so it's coming through there though as well. Temperance card is a sense of purpose, but it also indicates balance and re-examining your priorities. So I feel a lot of you are kind of like contemplating a next move or a decision in your career, and it's something that perhaps you've been ruminating on for a while. Okay, but the next 6 weeks, I feel like you're going to make a solid decision on this. And you know, the Temperance card indicates relax. It's going to be fine. I do see second streams of income here, so a lot of you could be diversifying or expanding on what you do, or you're thinking about ways to build wealth. If some of you are retired, I mentioned this before, some of you may consider returning to a working environment, but actually I see some of you, it could be part-time, and a lot of you, it could be creative in nature. It could be something that you are kind of like knowledgeable at that you decide to like put online again. I feel it's something that perhaps you enjoy doing and it doesn't feel like work, and then you have to learn the technical side of getting it all up on a social media platform, for example, but then I feel it could be like some sort of brand deal, or, you know, it really kind of like goes viral, whatever it is that you do, because I do see things rising for you. So that's coming through there. For some of you, again, it could be that you counsel people on what you used to do, or inspire people, because you've got the counselor card there. And again, that's whether you're retired or not. A lot of you who are retired are like, okay, let me just focus on my finances. But I can see that you are secure. But some of you may have contemplated doing a little something, because I feel like you're, you know, very gifted and instinctive when it comes to your gifts. And it can be that you just keep your hand doing something. and it actually ticks over financially in the background and adds to your money pot. So that's coming through there as well. Now we have the past. So I think I did mention something from the past that you have already implemented, or something that you are sustaining and maintaining right now is going to be very beneficial for you. The gramophone can literally be about music for some of you. And I also get this energy of like an important call, something that you'll listen to coming through here. It says here, something from the past is coming back, perhaps an old job or an unfinished project. I did mention this, you know, it feels like there's resistance to it, but it's coming back. Okay, and you're really going to love it. And actually, it's going to be even better this time around. For some of you, if you've gone for an interview and you haven't heard about anything, I do see that, you know, something comes back around and it's yours. It says, look to the past to understand the future. A lesson, an experience, or an old skill. Definitely with that Eight of Pentacles in the resistance position. And it says you could be earning or receiving money from something that you did in the past. So for some of you, you know, it's tax time there. You know, that death card came out, so it can indicate that you're looking at the end of year, looking at receipts. Could be that you get a rebate in the next coming weeks regarding that. For some of you, it could also be a residual from something that you did in the past. Perhaps it's in your contract to get money if it gets aired somewhere else or it's promoted elsewhere. For some of you, if you created something and it's patented, could be that, you know, someone connects to you and pays you money for the patent on something. So please apply it to your situation. But I feel a lot of you, it's an idea that you had in the past that you're going to really connect to and make some money out of it. We got counselor, okay? So it says here, maybe time for some emotional healing of your own or release the past. So that did come up there with that Queen of Cups. That's a healing card with the emeralds there. We've also got careers in counseling, psychic work, energy healing. I feel a lot of you, you're going to have more vitality. So that song literally said, broken down and tired, right? So it can indicate that a lot of you are exhausted and you are healing your energy at this time. So you're going to have more vitality to move forward. Your mental or emotional troubles could have been blocking your abundance. I mean, I feel like you've got a lot on your mind, right? I do see for some of you, there's a lot of repair going on in your industry. I hate to give this message, but it is coming through. Some of you with that Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, I do get an energy that some of you may have to repair something quickly and, you know, give some money out for it. But I am being given an energy that your finances will be replenished. So it feels like you get it at a discount or you get a good deal. So whatever that is. And some of you are just like super busy because you want a vacation. And I definitely see that you're going to have a wonderful time away and you're going to re-energize and have lots of ideas. I'm seeing a light bulb there as well. This is where you'll formulate more of your plan. And when you come back, you're just going to hit the ground running and move forward quite quickly in your industry. So we have the compass. Okay, so this is about your direction. This is about you moving forward, recognizing where you feel like you're at, where you want to take things next. As I mentioned, some of you may even want to be traveling as you work. Could be you want to be more nomadic, you know, an independent worker, more free with your time. But I feel this is about your sense of purpose and direction at this time. This is a big period for you to really ruminate on where you're taking your career to next and where you can see an opportunity to elevate. You're going to grasp that opportunity. And I definitely see here that you're connected and locked on to your sense of purpose and your true north. And great things are coming towards you, but you worked really hard for it. So embrace the opportunity. I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Librans. Thank you so much, and love and light.